The Can-Am brand has always been synonymous with performance. All it takes is a brief look at their ATV lineup to understand why. With features like V-twin engines in their 500cc and larger 4x4 ATVs, plus their unique chassis and suspension designs. Unfortunately, striving to push the performance envelope doesn't usually lead to moderate retail pricing that appeals to the masses. When it was released, the Polaris Sportsman 500 was the biggest 4x4 ATV on the market. With years of refinement, a new fuel-injected 570cc single-cylinder engine, and a retail price that dates back to its launch year of 1996, the Polaris Sportsman 500, now 570, remains a leader in sales numbers, offering a full-size chassis and mid-bore displacement at a compact 400cc retail price. So what does a company that's focused on performance come up with when designing a new model ATV to rival the most value-packed and best-selling model currently on the market? Can-Am came up with two machines, inspired by performance, slightly altered to achieve a more competitive price point, while providing peace of mind that would last the life of a finance plan. They came out with a 2015 Outlander 450 and 500L. The base model 500L retails for $6,999, just $500 more than the base model Sportsman 570. The DPS model we're testing features Can-Am's tri-mode dynamic power steering and cast aluminum wheels, retailing for $7,899. Once again, just $500 more than the power steering equipped Polaris Sportsman 570. Aspen Acres, located in Laurel, Indiana, provided lots of varying terrain to put the Outlander L to the test. Fly Racing decked out our newest test rider Damon James in their Maverick Dual Sport boots, featuring a shorter height and cleated sole, patrol pants and jersey, Tidal cold weather gloves, kinetic impulse helmet, focus goggles, and patrol riding jacket. The heart of the 500L is a 499.6cc liquid-cooled V-twin Rotax engine with single overhead cams and 4 valves per cylinder. Fuel injection delivers air and fuel to the engine via dual 46mm throttle bodies. According to the California Air Research Bureau, the 500 is said to produce 45.6 horsepower. The transmission features high and low ranges plus neutral reverse and park, selected by a smooth-shifting low-profile gated shifter. A standard key switch replaces Can-Am's digitally encoded security system key on the L models. The Outlander 500 roars to life with its sweet V-twin sound and is ready to go with minimum warm-up time. Most machines in the 450 to 600cc 4x4 ranks deliver their best power in the first half of the throttle. The Can-Am takes the opposite approach. Bottom end power is smooth and mellow when you roll on the gas. Even if you crack the throttle, the low-end power never feels overwhelming. A little more low-end snap might be nice for wheeling over obstacles. However, its smooth power delivery comes in handy when traction is sparse and you don't want to spin the tires. Things really start to come alive as the engine delivers a surge of power entering the mid-range. We wouldn't call it abrupt, but when you crack the throttle hard at lower speeds, the mid-range rush is pronounced. It adds to the machine's fun factor accelerating out of turns, and provides plenty of thrust for conquering big hills. On top end, the engine seems willing to rev to the moon, hitting 62 miles per hour and still climbing in an 1/8 mile drag race. The Outlander's engine could be the king of its class when it comes to letting it rip on fast trails. The transmission's low range allows the Outlander to make good use of its engine for hauling, towing, or picking its way through challenging sections. The broad power band of the 500 allows you to remain in low range for short, faster-paced runs between tough sections of trail. A switch by your right hand selects between 2- and 4-wheel drive. With Can-Am's Visco-Lock QE front differential, the front end offers the ease of steering of a limited slip front differential. However, when one of the front wheels begins to lose traction, the Visco-Lock QE system progressively locks in both front wheels, providing true 4-wheel drive. When traction is restored, the front differential progressively unlocks. We challenged the Visco-Lock system with some slick hills and a gnarly rocky climb. We've seen people complain about sluggish engagement on Can-Am's Visco-Lock in the past. However, our test riders felt the recently updated QE, or quick engagement version that Can-Am included on the L models, provided light steering, good forward traction, and received no complaints regarding engagement. The Outlander L features Can-Am's surrounding Spar Generation 2 chassis, originally released in 2012. Constructed of steel, the G2 frame features different manufacturing processes and an updated geometry for improved handling, increased strength, and improved durability. The new chassis and rear suspension were calibrated to promote the rear suspension squatting under hard acceleration to improve traction. The G2's redesigned front end features what Can-Am calls its dive control and anti-kickback geometry. The revised front end geometry was designed to keep the front end from diving during hard braking or while descending steep hills. To reduce bump feedback to the rider, the steering knuckle was located inside the front wheel. Compared to the premium 500 model, the L received reduced caster to lighten steering effort. 5-way preload adjustable shocks reside at all 4 corners, and Can-Am makes taking advantage of their adjustability easy with the required tool included in the toolkit. The dual A-arm front end features 9 inches of travel. The torsional trailing arm independent rear suspension features a simplified trailing arm design and a ½ inch less travel compared to the premium 500 model at 8.8 inches of travel. The Outlander sits 46 inches wide with a wheelbase of 51 inches. The base model Outlander L comes with black steel wheels, while the DPS model comes with cast aluminum wheels. Both the standard and DPS models come with premium Carlisle Trail Wolf tires. The 25-inch tires are 1 inch shorter than the 26s found on the premium 500. The L's tire and rear suspension changes result in a ½ inch less ground clearance at 10.5 inches, and a seat height that's 7/10 of an inch lower at 33.8 inches. As sporting enthusiasts, these numbers indicate a lower center of gravity. And if you feel you need more than 10.5 inches of ground clearance, it's just a tire swap away. All of the changes also result in a machine that's 25 pounds lighter, with the 500L's claimed dry weight of 703 pounds. In corners, the Outlander L feels predictable and pretty stable. There is some body roll cornering aggressively, but it never felt like it was going to get away from us unexpectedly. The Can-Am prefers to be driven through corners hooked up, whether you're cruising along or racing with your friends. Power slides on loose smooth turns are no problem. However, the mellow low-end power makes getting the back end to step out when traction is abundant tricky, requiring you to carefully time your corner entry with the engine's mid-range hit. Thanks to receiving the G2 chassis, the new Outlander L handles quite well. We found the old SST chassis and suspension combo spooky on side hills. The new G2 setup rolls less and is more confidence-inspiring. The front end feels well planted on climbs, and the anti-dive front end eliminates the seesaw feeling we got when going from the gas to the brake on the old chassis. Steering action on the Outlander is responsive and pretty accurate. This makes it fun on tight switchback trails. There is a little trade-off on high-speed stability, where steering feels just a bit overly sensitive. Our riders agreed that Can-Am's tri-mode DPS system is more than a gimmick. They thought the low assist was ideal for smooth high-speed trails, minimizing the steering's high-speed sensitivity. The high assist setting was best suited for low-speed rock crawling and work duties, while the middle setting was good for all-around riding. The L suspension provides a plush ride over smaller bumps at slow speed. In high-speed choppy or rough sections, it's kind of like riding a very plush sport quad. The suspension works best when you're on the gas, driving the rear wheels into the bumps and keeping the front end light. The shocks offer a good amount of bottoming resistance for jumps and G-outs, as we only managed to bottom the front shocks on a couple occasions. With 3 days of testing and tuning, we ran the L's front shocks 1 notch from full stiff, and backed the rear shocks preload all the way out. Softening the rear shocks improves the ride, enhances traction, and lets the machine track more predictably through rough sections, without creating a bottoming issue on big hits. Our softer rear settings also let us drive harder out of turns, as the rear end would squat farther, lowering the machine's center of gravity, and transfer less weight to the outside front wheel, reducing body roll. Adding a notch of preload to the front shocks from their factory setting further reduces body roll and increases bottoming resistance, while remaining compliant over small bumps. Carlisle's Trail Wolf tires offered good traction and directional control in intermediate to hard pack conditions. They also provide a good grip crawling through rocks. Performance in sand was decent, however, they packed up quickly in Haspin's clay-based mud unless we kept the tires spinning. Can-Am slows the Outlander with dual 214mm rotors up front and a single 214mm rotor out back. Both ends feature dual-piston calipers and steel-braided brake lines. The handlebar-mounted lever activates the brakes at both ends, while the foot brake pedal operates the rear brake independently. The brakes offer plenty of stopping power and provide good feel through both the hand and foot levers. The engine's compression braking system offers a decent amount of assist scrubbing off speed entering corners and works well at keeping speeds under control on long descents. Lighting was simplified a bit on the Outlander L, but thanks to the 70-watt headlights, there's still plenty of candle power for night riding. The Outlander's ergonomics beautifully balance comfort and control. You won't find the standard 8-finger style utility bars on the Outlander. They seem a bit lower, narrower, and less swept back, putting you in a good position to attack the trail without making you feel cramped up. Combination floorboards with tall, wide, aggressively toothed plastic pegs provide good footing and allow your foot to pivot when traversing rough terrain. The sides of the bodywork curve in, making it easier to grip the machine with your knees. And the seat is one of the most comfortable we've ever ridden on an ATV. The ergonomics make you want to ride hard all day. The Outlander comes pre-wired for easy winch installation. The ball-mount-equipped rear tongue is rated to tow 1,300 pounds, although we'd prefer a full-size hitch receiver. The rear storage box on the L was reduced a bit to 2.9 gallons, and the L receives steel racks instead of the composite racks found on the premium model. That's cool in our opinion, as they're super easy to attach items to. The rack features Can-Am's Link Quick Attach accessory system, and is rated to haul 20 pounds more up front at 120 pounds and 40 pounds more out back at 240 pounds. If you're wondering what the L in Outlander L stands for, it stands for Lite. When associated with food or other products, the word light is often accompanied with a lack of flavor or features. After 3 days of riding the Outlander 500 Lite, the only thing it seems to be lacking is retail price. The Outlander L models are the only ATVs on the market that come with a 5-year warranty standard. A comparable warranty for the Sportsman 570 will cost around $950, making it $450 more expensive. Suzuki, Yamaha, and Arctic Cat's comparable models retail for between $400 and $1,800 more, and the longest standard warranty among them is only 12 months. If you want a warranty that's comparable to the Outlander L's, expect to pay at least $800 for it, if the manufacturer offers one that long. The 500L's performance would put up a real fight against any ATV in its class. Built to go head-to-head against the Polaris Sportsman 570, we'll have to let the two machines face off in a shootout to determine which is better at what as performance goes. We sincerely hope that its creation is a sign of a much-needed shift in the market, from who can build the biggest, fastest ATV regardless of price, to who can build a fun and reliable ATV for a price that's affordable for the masses. We've never been so bold as to crown a single machine as the ATV of the year. However, considering its strong performance, exceptional value, and potential positive impact on the ATV market, we couldn't imagine picking any other machine than the 2015 Can-Am Outlander 500L.